So we're here at the Circuito de Navarra under very pleasant spring blue skies and sunshine for the start of a new Bennetts British Superbike term, the start of the 2025 season. Of course, the distant memory of last October and the fabulous battle between Carl Ryde and Tommy Bridewell is still spoken about in the pit lane, but it's very much a page-turning moment as we assemble for the new term. It's like the first day at school, but school has been rocked. Two of its star pupils, Carl Ryde and Bradley Ray, the returning 2022 champion, dramatically not here. The news dropped last Tuesday, April the 1st, that it was no April Fool, where R&G Yamaha Racing announced that they would not be able to participate in the 2025 championship. They say a week is a long time in politics. Well, a week is a long time in Bennetts BSB, and there's momentous efforts going on behind the scenes to see what we can do. But as we unroll those days towards the first round of the championship, which usefully starts a little later than usual at Donington Park on the first weekend of May, there's still optimism that something could be salvaged for the current champion and a returning champion. But about the players that are here, and it's this cast of characters that you would expect. There's Glenn Irwin, fresh on his Hager PBM Ducati, Rory Skinner on his new Ducati, Leon Haslam on his new Ducati, looking more relaxed than I've ever seen him. We've got Josh Brooks on a Honda, Storm Stacey on a BMW, and that's just for starters. It was so nice just to see the riders cutting some laps yesterday on the newly modified Navara. It's a slightly different layout to what we enjoyed when we raced here last April. Testing is never the thing that gives you the representative view of how the championship's going to pan out, but it just starts the chattering and starts the who's going to do what, and we'll know at the end of today, the second day, what the form guide is going to start looking like as we then head to the first UK test at Donington over Easter.
The move to Moto Rapido has been amazing. Once we signed that contract, I was pretty much straight back in the gym straight after the last race at Brand. Yesterday was the first day on the bike, so I've not rode for about 6 months. So from my side of it, it was nice just to get to know the boys, get to know the new bike, and yeah, definitely we was all smiling at the end of the day. Obviously, you always want to be the quickest, but we're trying to be patient, try and take it a little bit step by step. But so far, so good.
It's been a very positive test for me and McAMS Racing. After 6 months not riding, we've had a long time to sit and think of the areas we need to improve on, and I have to say the team have done a mega job. The ideas that they've come with to this test, we've got through the programme that we wanted to do, and there's been lots of benefits. So yeah, like I said, it's been a successful test. Also, like I said, for the team, also for myself, after not riding for such a long time. I feel really good on the bike, and looking forward to Donington Park now.
We're in business. The one thing I always wanted was speed. I got plenty of speed. The bike does not lack speed. It is fast. The stuff the BMW has that the Kawasaki never had, and that's not just a power and chassis and wings, it's got electronic components in the bike, like split throttles and stuff like that I've never used before, and it's interesting to try them now. From what I'm taking from it so far and been riding, I'm really looking forward to riding like British tracks, especially like for Owen for round one. Yeah, there's certain bits of the track I'm like, this is going to be nice, really nice.
Do you know what? Testing's been good, but challenging for definite. It's been hard for me to really get the feeling I wanted with the bike. But honestly, I'm shocked that we are as strong as we were still, because I don't feel great on the bike, which is probably more of a positive for us, because if I'm not feeling that good on the bike and I'm not really enjoying it so much, and I'm still relatively fast, normally when I can get it sorted, I'm really strong. So I think we'll take the positives for sure. There's no negatives. We've worked hard as a team. It's like another year. We're ticking off the test days. Good strong tests over in Spain. Now we truck on back to England and see how we fare up in in Donington in Donington Park test, and then we'll be ready for round 1 to come out swinging and yeah, try and get that number 1 plate back.
It's been a really enjoyable test, at Navarra. First of all, the new layout is really action-packed. The team have worked really good. We are really pleased, I think, with not just to top the test, it is always nice, but how natural 45s come. Great job by the guys. The morale's high in the team. It's funny because my initial feeling was actually not as good, better in ways, less good in other ways. And I think we had to adapt a little bit to get the most out of that tire.